Hello everyone, my name is Goody. Today is currently today's Wednesday. It's 7:30 a.m. right now. Let me show you. Markets haven't opened yet, of course. But that's not what this video is about. This video is really about something that I learned recently that I knew about, but I didn't really, you know, think about it too hard. And that's like tax deed houses or like tax liens or just that whole circumstance. Yesterday I felt like I had another revelation type shit. Like, remember I made a video talking about moving out of like my parents' house and how, that just needs to happen. That's just a must in my life. Like, I cannot live here forever, even though it's a great place. It's a great location. And I see the potential of this area. I see, like, in the next 5 to 10 years, there's going to be a huge come up in this neighborhood, and yeah, so it's like cool to see. But I realized that I don't want to live here for the rest of my life under my parents' roof with their rules and this, that, and the third. And so it's just like, oh yeah, perfectly. That makes sense, right? Just get an apartment, this, and the third. What about that? I also don't like paying rent. I really don't. And the reason for that is because it's like, why am I paying your mortgage? You know what I mean? Like, every single month, the first of it, you owe rent, and it's literally just for somebody else. And sometimes the mortgage could have already been paid for, and you're just paying like this surplus of money that goes to nothing other than their pockets. You pay for the utilities, right, of the property, or yeah, you pay for all the utilities and all that stuff, and then anything else, it's just pocket money for them. Because especially if they had it for a long time, the likelihood of that mortgage being paid off is so much higher. And it's just like, yo, they're making money off of me. And as an entrepreneur, I don't look at what they're doing as a bad thing. I look at it and I'm just like, period. Now all I could think about is, how can I do that for myself? How about this? It's like, you see everybody else is paying rent, right? But a lot of people, everybody else is not successful. A lot of people are doing the same things that everybody else did, and they're just living average lives. I'm taking it there. So I'm just thinking to myself, well, if the average person moves out of their parents' house and goes pays for the mortgage for somebody else, you know, what is the opposite of the average person? What are the other people are doing? The other people who have money in their pockets, because the average person doesn't. The average person doesn't even have $1,000 to that they could like put towards an emergency situation. Some not even 500. You know what I mean? These are average statistics. So I'm just thinking to myself, why would I do something that the average person does if I don't want to be average, if I'm not an average person? Um, and primarily, like, this is not something that I just like woke up today or recently or just like, yeah, this doesn't make any sense. I'm clocking that I've been thinking like this for years, and that the only one to blame, other than myself, we love holding blame on others, but the only one to blame is HGTV. HGTV made me want to be a house owner. Period. Period. Because all of those constant episodes of watching House Hunters, Love It or List It, The Property Brothers, like all of these, Flip or Flop. What's the one that's like Flip or Flop, but it's like the country version? With that woman and that man. Didn't the man cheat? Anyway, regardless of all of that, um, just hearing that. And I remember this one episode, it really clicked in my head. It really, like, this was years ago. I'm talking about like literally maybe 10 years ago. Like, actually. And I just remember my mom was watching HGTV, and I think I just was walking by, right? So I was going up the stairs, and the TV's on in the living room, and she's watching an episode of House Hunters or something like that. And I just remember one of the people looking for a house. They were like, yeah, like, I'd rather buy a house now. It doesn't make sense to pay rent to something that you don't own, or you know what I mean? Because every single time you pay rent, it's literally a mortgage payment type shit. Like a mortgage payment. Depending on the house cost, like, mortgage payments can be lower, but then you have to add on the taxes and insurance and other things that kind of increase your monthly thing, because utilities and all that stuff. But it was like, I was looking at houses like recently, and looking at how much it would cost, like, mortgage, what, like in a monthly, based off of like a house price. I was like, whoa, bro, this is basically paying rent. Because in my neighborhood, I don't live in the best neighborhood, but like I said, I have a lot of confidence that it's going to be something in the next 5 to 10 years. Like, I already see it. Like these Berkshire Hathaway peoples, they're building like apartments. Like, they're knocking down the old rundown Johnson. They're building new apartments. If you're from the hood and you start seeing construction going on where they're building multi-complex apartments and all that, you should know that gentrification is happening in your environment, and therefore prices are going to get higher in the neighborhood. Like, I don't know if we all know this, because, people are a little bit, they're unaware of stuff like this, which is, that's your thing. This is my shit. So when I see this, when I'm on my way to work and I'm on the trolley and I'm watching their construction going on and they're improving this, that, and the fucking third, when you're in the hood and they start introducing speed bumps, you're cooked. So all this to say, it's like there's a lot of potential here. The houses in this market, you can find a good amount of the listings for under for at or under $150,000. Personally, me, I didn't even think that was possible in 2025 until I started looking on Zillow for houses. And then once I started looking there, that whole idea of like, I want to buy a house, I want to get a house, it became more realistic. It became more possible. I was like, I didn't know they would be that cheap. Like, I really didn't know, but they are. And so now I'm like, period. But then another roadblock. I don't have a job. I'm unemployed. I'm unemployed, but I have some coin, right? So I was looking up, researching, like, hey, I don't have a job, but I do have money. What can I do? I can get a cosigner. And so it would have to be somebody with good credit score that that you trust, because they would be the ones held liable for any missed payments or anything. But you have to be the one to like kind of pay them so that, so everything is good. And I was just thinking back, I'll just get my mom to do it and this, that, and the third. But then I was like, damn, there's no other person. Because like, what if she says no? Now the likelihood of her saying no, I don't think she would, but I feel like, for me, for the person that I am, I do enjoy being like independent and not having to worry about like, oh, I gotta make this payment or else mom's credit and my credit is gonna get fucked. Like, I'd rather just have my credit fucked than somebody else's. So yeah. So I was thinking about that, and that was kind of where I last ended off at, and just kind of making like, okay, I guess that's the only way, because I got to get a mortgage, because I don't have $100,000. I may have the down payment to get a house like that, but I don't have it all out of here. So for that, honestly, I kind of just left it there and called it a day. But then, yesterday, could I tell you what happened to the tea? I cannot remember. But the tax deed stuff started popping up. And it was funny because I remember watching, or no, or reading actually. I think it was in Rich Dad Poor Dad, or maybe a book just like it, one of those. And he was talking about tax liens and stuff like this. But you're reading a book about something else, but then they add that little snippet of something you're not paying attention to it too much. You know what I mean? But once I said, I was like, I am looking for a house. And I started to look at it and I was like, yo, like, this is like a whole new job for me because people are talking about how they're buying houses. Like, you can win the bid for like 15K or maybe sometimes under that, like on average, maybe like 7 8K. I was looking on the official like Philly bidding thing, and I was looking at the past one that happened on the 12th. It's the 17th today. And there were the few that sold, there were like average like 7 to 8K that they were sold for. And there's actually one that's happening today. So, yo, hold on. So, like I mentioned, today's the 17th. And these are the ones that I was seeing that are going to be available today. So this is the sale that's going on today. So I'm gonna keep a close eye on it because I want to see. I haven't gone through all of the properties. There's 35, but I have gone through like a good amount of them. A lot of them. Now, a lot of these things, I will say, they're more land than than actual property. But some of them are like property or like houses, sorry. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for like land. I mean, I guess that could be like another thing. You look for land, you can pay for it and then just like hold it, pay the property tax, and then just like wait till appreciation. I think like if I was in a different circumstance, that could be a really good idea. And I'm also not against that for the future, but me, I'm on a mission to like move out. So a lot of these places have the pending, and then I went to ChatGPT and I was just like, what does that mean? Auction finished, but final payment or paperwork isn't completed yet. Ownership transfer isn't finalized. Sale may still fail if payment isn't made. So with that, if we go to the last sale that happened in the past September 12th, a lot of these are pending. So I think they're just waiting for payment. But if you look at these current bids, now, like I mentioned, a lot of these places are solely just land. So it's not like, oh my gosh, all houses, which was a little bit like sad to see, but like, let's just put one address in. Like, this is probably gonna be land. Or like land. So like this place right here, this whole entire area, somebody bought that for $7,000. $7,000. Let's actually click on that. Buy that up for $7,000. Oh, wait, what? I don't know. I'm learning. I'm still learning about this. You know what? I think it might be no one bought it, and maybe that's why it's pending. I have no idea. I'm still trying to figure out everything. All of this is like a new discovery to me yesterday, but let me look at this. So this over here, I filtered it. This is the statuses that were sold. So these were the things that sold. Let's look. Like the most expensive one is $88,000, and you're like, Jesus Christ, $88,000. But this is what that location is. So it's like, okay, I mean, think about it. 88,000. Oh my God. Like, wait, that's how it looked like before everything in 2019, and this is April 2023. So That's the highest bidded one. Let's look at this one, the second highest. I just want to show a couple of examples. Oh my god, this is the one that I'm really jealous about. So this was sold for 15K, and this is the property. Oh, it looks so awesome, dude. But the one thing about this, and I'm still learning because I feel like there's so much information that's like contradicting other information that I've learned. So again, this is all new to me. But it's like for Philadelphia at least, or Pennsylvania, there's a redemption period. Hold on, I'm sick. Yeah, so there's a 9-month redemption period in Pennsylvania. So how it works, like of course we have these bids, we have these sales. Like I showed you, like this bidder spent 15.1 on this place. So what happens now is the title. I said the title. Everything's finalized because it was sold. They made their final payments. So now, depending on what they want to do from it, this is where the investment part is. Like, I view it as a win-win if you're prepared for any circumstance. Like, if you have enough money to prepare for it. So, the way that you can win is that, for me, I'm in a good situation for this. Is like, I want a house, and I'm also down to recoup interest. So how it works is, if you find a house like this, let's say you bought it like that person, 15.1, you bought it, awesome. The owner who actually lives there and whatever, they have 9 months to recoup all of the payments. And I think it's the 15,000 that you spent. They have 9 months to get that, plus the interest that I'm pretty sure you get. Like you get, that's like for real, but I don't know if they pay you, the owner, or if the tax office, I really don't know. But they'll have to pay the amount back, the 15.1 plus the interest, and then you get that back. And if they manage to pay off all of that, then they can keep their house, and you get all your money back plus the interest on it. So you don't get the house if within the 9 months the owner is able to make all the payments, and you just keep the money that you put into all of it, and yeah, you get some benefit off of that. So they're typically higher interest rates. I've seen 9%, I've seen 15%. So it's like, I would say 9, so maybe like 8 to 15% off for the interest rate on the amount. So if you're in a good position where you're like, hey, if I get a property, I get a property, or hey, if I don't get the property, I still get interest, you can look at it as a win-win depending on it. Because of course, if you get the property, there may come, like repairs that need to be made. Maybe it's water damage, fire damage. Like, you don't really know what you're getting. You can do an exterior view of everything, but you don't really know what you're gonna get unless you win and you get the title and everything, and it's your house now. Like, and then that's when you can kind of go. Where the person that I am, it's like I mentioned, I'm in the position to get both of those things. Like, if I don't get the house, I get the money. And if I do get the house, I have a house now, right? And then, so my goal now, and this is all connected to trading, is to get my funds up. I don't know what else to say. Like, get my funds up, so that I can go through something like this, have like 40, 50K, that I can use to, maybe purchase a house for 15,000 or less. And then, there's most likely going to be liens and all that stuff on it. So I can use that budget to potentially pay off any liens or back taxes that's owed. And then there's just like, of course, a lot of things that goes to it. It's not like this simple thing that, oh, I bought this house for $1,000. I mean, you can definitely get that, but I live in Philly, and I don't really think there's a lot of options like that. I feel like if you want something like that, you gotta live in the middle of nowhere, or you have to go to the middle of nowhere, of like some spread out state like Texas or Georgia or Florida or something like that, because they have different rules. And y'all, it's just making me think. It's really making me think. Like, I wanted a house here so that I can like still be in Philly, and have my own place, but then, potentially like rent it out to one of my friends, have a roommate, which I don't really want a roommate, but I'm like, bro, cash flow, right? Cuz it's like, if I can get these places, assuming, I don't want to assume that it has no mortgage, like it'll definitely have like liens over the government or from the government, but like if it has like a mortgage, like that's something that you got to really look into and make sure like what is a part of the title. And that's why you have to do like a title search. For a person like me who's a beginner, like I'm not gonna be the one to do all of that and just assume. I'd rather just talk to a title search company and just kind of do it that way, especially for the first time. Um, because I definitely don't want a mortgage. And the only reason why I was looking into this prospect is because if you don't have a mortgage, your monthly payments, once everything, assuming, it needs some like repairs, even if it's like a bit heavy, it's like, bro, if you have 40, 50K, maybe even a higher budget than that, the repairs that are needed to make it livable, you know, um, I feel like you'll be able to do that, like take care of that. I mean, of course I can be wrong depending on the, anything, it could be different, but like, let's say like it's not that bad. Like it's not good. Like, oh, just a couple like 2K, like let's say it costs you like 35K to get it repaired, right? Like if your budget is like in total 50K, um like you'll still have some like wiggle room right there. All in all, it just seems like a really cool way for people who don't have a lot of money, or like or they're unemployed like me. It seems like a nice way for them to get some real estate, whether it be land or actual houses, because the only thing that you need is the cash and to be older than 18, or at least 18. And I'm just like, okay, these people don't care. And this just seems like the right avenue for me because it's cheaper, bro. Let's say I find a place. Let's say I get it for like 6 to 8K, bro. And then I do repairs. It's like 35,000. Let's say, or maybe let's say it's 40,000. Maybe say it's a lot. Bro, after that, I got a good house. I don't have a mortgage. Now I just got to pay the utilities and maintenance, and then property tax, which is annually. Um, Dude, like going back to apartments, it's like I was about to sign a lease for an apartment for $1,200 a month, and that was utilities included. So a really nice deal, right? Um, but me now, I'm looking at this shit and I'm like, bro, if let's say I got a roommate, let's say that house that I just built, I got a roommate, and I rented. So it's like, it's usually in Philly, to find a 3 bedroom 1 bath, that's kind of normal. So if I'm there, let's say I take one room, the my roommate takes another room, I have the bathroom we share. Let's say the rent, I asked her for 700 a month to be in my house. Bruh, no mortgage. All I gotta pay is the utes and maintenance and property tax. 700 a month. Come on, bro. You know what I mean? That one payment covers all of that monthly shit, and then I just live for free. Like essentially, that's just like my plan. But of course, to have something like that, you gotta have money. And this video is way longer than I thought. It's 8 o'clock now, but I just needed to talk about this because this seems like exactly what I need. Like, you don't need to have a job, you just need to have money. and you just need to be of age, which I am. And of course, you need the knowledge and, professional. I'm down for professional help, like for real. So it's just, it's just like, it's just crazy. I just remember it's like, I'm moving out, I want a house, and saying that, but I didn't really know how I was going to get it, especially in my current situation. And it just happened like that. And I'm just forever grateful for the fact that we have the internet, we have our brains, because I was just like, I don't know how the fuck, but I know that this is gonna happen. And running into this, it's like, okay, now I really see, I'm a little bit closer as to how, like, it's going to happen for me, or how possible it could be for me to get this to work for me. Again, this is only one day of looking into everything. There's still, some nitty gritty stuff that I need to like look into, research, and at the end of the day, I need money. So that's like the real tea, like you can't do any of this stuff without bread, and that's like 5 figures plus. Uh, this video is 20 minutes. It's almost 30 minutes long. Yikes. I'd be making long ass videos, but I realize that I keep on forgetting that this is for myself. Of course, I think of you guys, and I'm like, I just don't want it to be mad long. I remember when I started doing this stuff, my videos were like 10 to 15 minutes easy. Now it's just like, I gotta talk. Like, I gotta bring this like out from my mind and into something else, because it's like there are things in this life that are so possible, and I know that I can do them. I know that it's achievable. Last night or yesterday, before I got the whole tax deed idea, like the whole idea of like copy trading and you know just doing these prop firms and getting these payouts, it just became more and more and more possible for myself. And I started looking at things, and I was like, bro, like I can do this, like those 25K accounts, like you can copy trade those, and the profit target is like you need like basically $2,000 or yeah, like $1,600, or basically within there, like $1,500 to $1,600 or something like that, right? And I just couldn't. I was just imagining, like, bro, I with one contract on ES as I'm trading have made $1,000 in profits. Now I haven't made 1,500 or 2,000. I haven't done that, but I've made over $1,000 in profits. And I did it once for sure, but I almost did it twice because I was at like 970, and then I blew my account because of fear and the fact that, like, oh my gosh, I've never made $1,000 in profits. I want to get to that so badly, and then I blew the account. But nevertheless, like, me being able to break my own record, which is having over $1,000 in profits, I've never had anywhere close to that. It made the 25K account on like Apex so much like attainable for me. So much like I can do that. I can get that. I can get that payout. And because of that, I was like, yo, hold on. If I can make, let's say, $1,600, if I just copy traded that with 10 accounts, I have to shit. This is what I get for eating pizza. Would you like this sitting on the toilet? You can't see my face, but you could probably hear everything. Yeah, probably not. All right, I'm back. Oh my gosh, that was like so crazy. Okay, but yeah, like I was mentioning with the 25K accounts, currently I am, let me show y'all. This is where I'm at. Now, anything can happen. Just because I have these doesn't mean that, they'll stay forever. It's really all about my performance, all about, my why, really locking down on that and just doing the same things over and over and over again. But just looking at that, again, I'm not trying to, work on the money or focus so hard on that. It's really all about the setups that I take and making sure that the setups make sense and this, that, and the third, right? But, the fact that I've been able to get to 1K in profits, and the fact that we're halfway there, right now, again, it's like showing, it's like proving to myself that, like, yo, I can, like, really do this. And it didn't take me crazy long to get to these. I mean, I did blow my account several times, and that's why my account is low. When I'm not blowing my account, I think we've been trading for like 4 or 5 trading days, and this is where we are currently are. And it's just like, yo, to reach that 50 or $1,600 goal, like, it feels possible. It feels so much more possible. And that's what excites me. It's because it's like, if you can do it once, then you can do it again. And let's say, like I mentioned, if you had that copy traded, right? $1,600 profit target, but you have 10 accounts, that's $16,000. You know what I mean? $16,000. And that's just one payment, right? Because you can make 2 payments in 1 month, right? Every 8 days or something like that, right? So it's like, yo, I have the possibility to make like 30K in 1 month. That's crazy. Imagine going from like making 3K in a month to no money, and then just getting a 30K like payout or withdrawal, or 2 15K withdrawals, right? Or payouts. Like, absolutely insane. And it's not like I'm doubling my contract size or anything. It's literally just because I have multiple accounts that I'm trading all at once, and it's just doing its job. Now, there are levels to everything, and it's not to say that I don't think I'm currently at the level to where I can just copy trade 10 accounts and just be okay. But it's just like my brain is just working, is thinking differently now. And with these tax deed houses, let's say I'm able to do that, right? Like 30K. Let's say I'm able to do it twice, like in 2 months, or let's say I'm able to do it 3 times. Let's do it. Okay, so this is the setup for the next video, but it's currently 8:20. But let's say $30,000 times 3. Let's say you were able to do it for 3 months. Now, for who I am a tax person, so I don't play when it comes to taxes. If you are doing a prop firm and you're getting these payouts, remember that you are a 1099 worker, a contractor, damn near self-employed type shit, okay? So you need, in order to be in compliance with our IRS, okay, the government, you need to withhold funds for taxes, because they don't do it for you. They give you everything, and it's your responsibility to withhold the appropriate amount so that you're not scrambling when tax season comes. That being said, the dog's out. That being said, this is 3 months of profit minus 40%. Minus 40%. So this amount, 36K, if this was me, I would be putting that into a savings account and be titling that savings account savings. I said savings. I'd be putting that 36K into a savings account labeled taxes, just so when the year comes, like I mentioned, I'm not scrambling. So within those 3 months after deducting taxes, we were left with $54,000. Oh no, that's so horrible. No. If you divide that by 3, that's looking like 18 grand a month. What am I gonna do with that? Listen, all I'm saying is, you can change your life with trading like that. That's all I'm saying. This video is mad long. But yeah, man, I'm just saying, like, when I'm able to do stuff like this, because I'm going to be able to do it. Like, once you hone in on your emotions and you understand that like it's not worth it to overtilt or overtilt, you know what I mean? Just do that crazy stuff. It's like you're going to be able to accomplish things like this. This is going to be regular, you know. So I just need to remind myself why I'm doing it, and now I have an even bigger why, because it's like I'm not trying to live at home forever. I'm trying to get a place, and I'm also not trying to pay nobody rent. Okay, so it's like I just need the funds. That's all you need in all this stuff. I've been wanting to get into real estate. I just didn't know how without getting into mad amount of debt. That was just like my thing. But now hearing that we got these tax deeds, it's like crazy. And also it's like, okay, maybe I can't get a house. Maybe all the houses get bought up. I can get land, right? I can get land. And with these tax funds, with these payouts, I can like get land for cheap and build something on top of it if I had the funds, of course. You know, but anything is possible. So I'm just looking at this stuff and I'm like, whoa, like my brain is like working, you know. But yeah, it's 8:23 now. I need to get to the charts. I just wanted to talk about tax deed housing and that possibility, that process, and you know, just bring that out because this is something that I'm aware of, and I want to bring awareness to it, and I also want to talk about it, you know, take it from my head and out into a real life source, so it feels more real. Like this shit is possible, bro. So yeah, I'm gonna end the video here. I gotta hit the charts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.